Okay, great. So let's see. Mitch, are you ready to get started?
Well, first of all, I was born ready, if that answers your
Okay,
question,
yep.
but yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I definitely want to welcome everyone who's joined us this morning. And Vivica, you said you are in Costa Rica, right? And that the lighting is not so great, but it looks wonderful from this end.
Thank you.
So anything in Costa Rica.
Yes, anything in Costa Rica is wonderful. Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you for being with us. I would like to just welcome everyone and say, we're excited to have you. I would love for, let's see, do we have Denise on here already?
Denise is not here yet.
Okay. All right.
But
great.
maybe we can get Vernon to
yes.
welcome everybody.
Absolutely. So Vernon, if you could just do us the honors of welcoming our group and sharing a little bit about what the Breakfast Club does.
It would be my pleasure. Good morning, everyone. My name is Vernon Webb. I am the past chair of the Breakfast Club. That illustrious position is now in Miss Carmen Torres's hands, and we are looking forward to her taking the club to the next level, so look out. The Breakfast Club is a part of City Club Los Angeles, and what we are designed to do is to provide programming for the City Club members and the people who participate in the Breakfast Club events. We have a speaker series. We have had some outstanding speakers in 2021. And I get the feeling, based on what I'm seeing and hearing, that 2022 is going to be pretty much more of the same. I have been waiting to hear Ms. Vivica, so I'll wait for Mitch to give her proper introduction. But with that, the Breakfast Club includes Mr. Mitch Woolley, Ms. Carmen Torres, who, as I said, our chair, Gary Martinez, and Denise Anthony. So with that, I will turn it back over to Mr. Mitch Woolley.
Thank you, Vernon. Pleasure. Glad you guys could all make it today. We had 35 registered. I don't know where everybody is, but they can't use the "I was stuck in traffic" thing that we usually have that excuse when we go to City Club, because there's no commute this morning, hopefully. But anyway, welcome everyone. I'm going to introduce Vivica von Rosen. She is co-founder of Vengresso, the largest provider of full spectrum modern digital sales transformation solutions. Known as @LinkedIn Expert, she's author and best-selling LinkedIn Marketing, An Hour a Day, and also 101 Ways to Rock LinkedIn. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Ms. Vivica von Rosen. Vivica, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Now they've met most of you. It is great to be here. Mitch is going to keep an eye on chat for me, but let me know, can you see my screen right now? Yes. Okay, good. And can you see the right screen? You don't see the one with all the notes on it. Is that correct? Okay, good. You just never know when you're not in your home office. So yeah, today I want to talk about how to create real relationships on LinkedIn, because we all know with the pandemic and with COVID, even for those people who are not actively using LinkedIn a lot, pre-2020, a lot of people were forced onto it. And unfortunately, I feel like some of the people who were forced onto LinkedIn didn't bring their common sense with them, and we'll talk a little bit about what that means. But chances are, if you're active on LinkedIn, and either let me know in chat or just, shout out, who here is active on LinkedIn? Just yes, or pop it into chat. I'm just keeping an eye over here. Or not active, active or not active, just let me know in chat. Okay, semi-active, no, but I'd like to be. Vernon's very active, awesome. Yeah, and I mean, really, so today is whether you're, a relative newbie or you've been on it for years, you just want it to be more effective. But there are definitely ways that you can use LinkedIn to create real conversations instead of like just always getting inundated with spam and with people trying to pitch their wares before they even know who you are. So today is a couple strategies and a free piece of software on how to create real relationships on LinkedIn. So to get started here, let's just talk a little bit about sales. So a lot of you own your own businesses, and you might not be active in sales yourself, but you might have a sales team. So just thinking about the people who are doing the selling for your company, whether it's yourself or others, what do you think is the hardest thing for them? Getting the first conversation, qualifying the opportunity, presenting the solution, or closing the deal? What do you think is the hardest part for you if you're in sales or for your sales team? Again, I'll keep an eye on chat. Number 4, closing the deal. Number 2, qualifying the opportunity. Number 1, getting the first conversation. Any other responses? 1, 2, 3, or 4? All of them. 34, presenting a solution and closing the deal. So if we were to talk to your salespeople, most of them will actually say the hardest part is getting that first conversation. 69% of the salespeople that we surveyed said that getting that first conversation is actually the hardest part, because, you know, chances are, if you do sales or if you've got sellers in your company, you've got training on closing the deal. You've learned to some extent, or marketing has helped you with qualifying the opportunity. Most of us know we need to be speaking towards solutions rather than, you know, stuff. It's solutions rather than I've got this, that, and the other. So a lot of that's already been taken care of, but just getting to that first conversation tends to be the hardest thing. And so that's what I'm going to talk about today. Not that you can't use a lot of the strategies I'm going to teach you post conversation, you know, with current clients, with getting referrals, all of that kind of stuff. We're absolutely going to, you can absolutely use the strategies that way, but also for you or for your salespeople that are just having that hard time starting the conversation, I'm going to give you some tips around and strategies around that. So a couple things to be aware of. Companies with consistent social selling processes are 40% more likely to hit revenue goals than non-social sellers. So again, whether it's you, whether it's someone in your company, someone on your team, you got to make sure that you are where your buyers are. Now, in the B2B world, obviously, in commercial real estate, regular real estate, definitely angel investments, etc., that's going to be LinkedIn. But again, a lot of what we're going to show you today, you can use on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Clubhouse, whatever social you're on. As long as your buyers are there, that's where you need to be active. I think we all already know that. Another thing is, and I'm one of them, most sellers are not having the luck they used to have with cold calling. And most sellers don't really like cold calling. And let's face it, our millennial and our Gen Z sellers don't even know that this has a phone attached to it. They think it's just a camera for selfies, right? So they don't even know how to use a phone in most cases. Your children might be like that. But for decision makers, most are not answering the phone anymore. So we need to find a way to get to those decision makers without using the phone. Now, it's not that you're never going to use the phone again, but let's warm up the relationship so that when you do phone them, your name actually pops up and they're more likely to answer. The other thing is that 75% of B2B buyers are using social media to make those purchasing decisions. So we need to make sure that your content or your company's content, your seller's content is out there on whatever social platform your buyers are on. So when they are doing research, because if you want to do it right now, open up another tab and type in LinkedIn expert. And what you'll find is after the ads, my profile and a lot of my content is what shows up, because I've made sure that I'm active on LinkedIn and that my knowledge base is active on LinkedIn, so that when people Google LinkedIn or LinkedIn experts or digital sales or whatever, my content shows up. My content that's living on LinkedIn, my content that's living on our website and on all the other socials. So we need to make sure that you and your buyers are active on LinkedIn in the right way. So that's just a couple facts to be aware of. What we're going to talk about today, the next 40 minutes or so, and I do apologize, I have to jump off about 5 minutes to the hour because I have another training I have to do. But for the next 45 minutes or so, let's talk about how to find the right prospects on LinkedIn. And even if you're not a seller, right, you're way above that. You're C-level in your company. Even if you're way above it, there are ways that you can utilize, like I said, strategies in your engagements, whatever they might look like. So how do we find the right prospects on LinkedIn? Our PVC methodology for better engagement. PVC stands for personalized, add value, and a call to action. And then if I'm assuming you're all on your computer, some of you might be on an iPad. If you are on your computers, I'm going to give you access to some software that not only has some of this PVC scripts and methodology built into it, but it's actually going to save you tons of time as far as searching, typing, etc. And please feel free to share it with anyone in your company or on your team. And then whatever time we have left, please feel free to ask me any questions you have at all about LinkedIn. Now, to back up a little bit, we've got to look at the way people used to do selling pre-pandemic, right? Cold calling, we've already talked about. It's just not as effective anymore. Quite frankly, new people on your sales team might not even know how to make a phone call. And a lot of it, it's just a lost art. We always have cold callers who are great at cold calling. And I'm not saying stop that, because that combined with using social selling can be really, really powerful. But let's face it, in most cases, cold calling is a lost art. Email blasting. How many of you today have gotten in your email, dear name or dear first name, right? Every single day, I'm getting a dear name, dear first name, and it drives me nuts. With all of the email automation going on, you know, we understand content needs to be personalized. And if you're in marketing, awesome, there's a lot of great tools to help you personalize, but every day I get dear name, and that just makes me hit the delete and the unsubscribe. Plus I get put on, usually through LinkedIn, newsletters I didn't even ask to be added to. So the email blasting is not working as effectively as it did, say, in like 2005. Networking events, we love networking events. Most of them are still virtual. I can't wait to get like on a stage and talk to people who are, you know, not just in my screen. So I don't have to look over here to look at all of you. I can actually look out and see all of you. But for a while yet, especially with, you know, Omicron now and who knows what's next, networking events, trade shows, conferences, they're few and far between. I'm looking forward to the days when they come back, but they're not really up to what they used to be right now. And then referrals are great. How many of you rely on referrals? Let me know in chat. Yes, no. How many of you rely on referrals? Yes, Mitch does. Anyone else? Yeah. Alice, Vernon. No, not so much. So a lot of people right now, we're at about 75% of the people responding. Yep, now we're at 80% of the people responding. A lot of people depend on referrals, and I absolutely love referrals. And there's even easier ways to get referrals using digital. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So I'm not saying you need to throw the old way of selling out, but there is a new way, right? There's a layer that we can add on top of that. Texting. Cold calling doesn't work, but sometimes cold texting does, just depending on how personalized it is, and if your name actually shows up when you're texting. Obviously, being on the different socials helps. You just need to make sure you're where they are. Sales video is very, very powerful and popular right now. It's one of our courses that we teach is video sales mastery, because we understand until we can start doing site visits, until we can start doing conferences and trade shows and more face-to-face stuff, across the camera, across the webcam is how we're going to have to engage, whether that's synchronous like we are right now, me talking to you and hopefully you talking back, but also with sales video, emails, things like that. So people at least get a little bit of a sense of who you are. Digital referrals, as I was just saying, it takes referrals to the next level, because now you can see, and that's the first thing I'm going to show you. Now you can see who you know and who they're connected to, at least on LinkedIn. And you can actually ask a couple people for introductions and then go with your best yes. And you can write the introduction for them, so you know that they're actually saying what you want them to be saying. And then you can even have them CC you on the message, so you can start the conversation right away. So I can say, okay, like I really want to get to know Carmen, and I just noticed that Carmen and Alice and Carmen knows Alice and Mitch, and now I know Alice and Mitch. And so I'm going to ask both of them, and Alice is going to be like, she was nice, she liked my glasses. Sure, I'll be happy to do that introduction. And so now I have a much better chance of getting to Carmen, but I've asked a few different people who I could, potentially engage with. Cold WhatsApping, yes. Yes, Anamika, that's so interesting. You should say that. So I'm in Costa Rica right now, and I never use WhatsApp at home, but I'm on WhatsApp all the time, of course, being here, because this is the main mode of engagement here in Costa Rica is WhatsApp. And I'm getting all these cold messages. Like, I don't even know who this person is. So I didn't even know such a thing existed, except until, this past week, I've gotten all these messages. I'm like, I don't know who you are. So yeah, 100% right. Inbound, we love inbound. That is one of the things I love about social media is inbound engagement. So as long as you are sharing enough helpful, valuable information out there, you're going to get people coming to you inbound, which now as the CEO, a higher level executive at a company, can be kind of annoying. But with your marketing and your sales team, if you've got that inbound content and you've got those people reaching out to you about your product or service, that's time for the happy dance. And then of course, things like direct mail, gift marketing. So there are ways we can blend the old and the new, and LinkedIn gives us that option. So I already asked this question. Most of you are on LinkedIn, just not using it super like every day, except for a couple of you are using it every day. And that's good to know. And everything I teach you, you're going to be able to use. So if you haven't done so yet, what I would invite you to do, if you've got two monitors, or you can just alt tab over and open up a screen so that you can see my screen, but you can also open up a tab of your own and open up LinkedIn. I would invite you to do this with me, because I'm going to show you how to use LinkedIn search, especially if you've got a free LinkedIn account. I'll show you how to do a LinkedIn search that will help you get better results, especially for these digital introductions that I was talking about. So if you're able to open up another tab, if you've got two monitors, or if you've got LinkedIn on your phone, or you've got it on your iPad or your tablet, you can open it up there too. So I just want to show you a few things, and this is being recorded. So if you want to fast forward 10 minutes in and see this again, you can absolutely do that. Normally when people do a search on LinkedIn, they're just doing a search up here. So, maybe I'm looking for, CEOs. So great, let's see how many CEOs there are on LinkedIn. So if I'm going to sort by people, how many CEOs are there? Only 8,460,000. Right, so that is completely useless search, right? There's too many people there, and chances are, it's just too many. It's too much. It's like the Cheesecake Factory menu. I mean, there's just too many there. So the next thing that you want to do then is, after searching for people who are CEOs, And you can put any title you want in here, obviously. So choose whatever buyer persona you tend to work with. Maybe it's you work with CMOs, maybe you work with engineers, maybe you work with realtors, maybe you work with, you know, so think about your buyer persona. Then you're going to come here to all filters. So does everyone see? I just did a general search on LinkedIn, sorted by people, and then the magic is over here, all filters. Now, when you do that, you want to sort your results by first and second level connections. First level connections, you've invited them, they've invited you. You're basically friends, at least you're friends on LinkedIn, and you can private message each other. That's what it comes down to. You can private message each other. They can see your content on LinkedIn. You can see their content. So we like first level connections because they're really easy to engage with. And sometimes you forget that your first level connections with the exact person that you want to be doing business with, but you just forgot that you connected with them at some point, or they connected with you at some point. The second thing are second level connections, because nobody can always get an introduction to them. So that's the other thing you're going to want to sort by. And then you're going to sort by wherever you do business. Maybe you're, you know, multinational conglomerate, awesome. You can search everywhere. Or maybe you just work in the United States, or, you know, maybe you just work in Colorado. So wherever your geography or wherever your seller's geography is, you can sort, of course, by those two different areas. You can, maybe you got named accounts, you work with certain companies, awesome. You can sort by that, or schools or industries, you know, maybe we work with a lot of IT ourselves. And now when I go to results, I get much better results, right? Now I'm at 787. That's way more manageable. Now I know I can go through here and let's just say Werewolf Limited. I like the sound of that, sounds cool. But truly, let me look through here. And by the way, if any of you see someone on my screen that would be a good lead for you, just like give me a shout out. Let me know in chat, I'll do this on them. But right now I'm just gonna look for someone who might be a good lead for us. So probably, I don't know, anyone in there? I'm just checking to see if any of you said, okay, no. All right, we'll just go with Mike. That's a good common name. Mike, we're gonna go with Mike. Let's just say Mike is a good prospect for me. So I'm going to Mike's profile now. Now we're going to the digital referral. So this is what I was talking about. Referrals are great, but on LinkedIn, we get to see everybody. So now I've gone to Mike. He's a CEO of an industry that we work in all the time. So he would be a great person for me to connect with. We actually work with a lot of companies that do AI and machine learning. So he's in my wheelhouse. He's in my seller's wheelhouse. Now I'm going to come down here to where it says 5 mutual connections. Now I'm not going to invite him to connect yet because he doesn't know me from Adam. He doesn't know me from a hole in the ground, right? I have not earned the right yet to connect with, look, I've already forgotten his name, Mike. I have not earned the right yet to connect with Mike, but I might know people who know Mike. And so what I'm going to do is come down and go, okay, oh yeah, I know Franny. Franny's nice. I'm connected to Brian. I don't actually know who that is. Keith, great. Keith's a great guy. He's seen me speak before, so he might be a good person to introduce me. Same thing with Alvin. Awesome. There we go. And Luke's actually a really dear friend of mine. So I'm going to ask Franny, not Brian, I don't actually know Brian. I'm going to ask Franny, Keith, Alvin, and Luke to introduce me. And so I'm going to message them all, right? Hey, I noticed that you're connected to Mike Blakeman. Yeah, always remember their names. I noticed that you're connected to Mike Blakeman. I might even grab the link to his profile, right? I might even come up here and grab this link so that they can find out, they can click through and see who he is pretty easily too. I noticed that you're connected to Mike. I was wondering if you feel comfortable enough with me introducing me to him, or if you feel you know him well enough to introduce me. So I'm going to ask 4 people that. That's all I'm going to ask them. Are you willing to introduce me? So Franny says, I don't actually know Mike that well. Keith says, I don't actually know you that well. But Alvin and Luke say, sure, I'd be happy to. Now I'm going to go with my best yes. So to Alvin, I'm going to say, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let's meet up for lunch sometime. It's been too long. Actually, don't worry about introducing me to Mike. My buddy Luke already did. And to Luke, I'm going to say, thank you so much for being willing to introduce me to Mike. Can you use this introduction that I wrote for you to save you some time? And I'll literally write it for him as if he were speaking to Mike. Hey, I wanted you to meet my good friend Vivica Von Rosen. She's a LinkedIn expert. I've known her for the past 12 years. I've seen her speak numerous times. I know that in a conversation we had recently that you were interested in social selling. She's the person you want to talk to. So I wanted to introduce the two of you. And I might even put my calendar link. Here's her calendar link just to make things easier. But here's the little ninja trick. I'm going to have Luke CC me on that. He might send it as an email. He might send it right through LinkedIn. I'm going to have him CC me on that. So even if Mike never responds to Luke, I can respond to Mike. So then I'm going to follow up actually with a video saying, hey, Mike, Vivica here. It was so kind of Luke to introduce us. I would love to chat with you sometime if you have any questions about social selling. In the meantime, I've got an ebook I think you're going to find really useful. Take a peek at it. Let me know what you think. And I'm going to let him go for like a week. And then in another week, I'm going to follow up. Hey, Mike, because I can, even though we're not connected yet, because Luke CC'd me, I can follow up with him. So maybe another week, I'm going to do is send him a voicemail. So I can send videos on LinkedIn. I can send voicemails on LinkedIn. I'm going to send him a voicemail and say, hey, Mike, you might not have had a chance to check out that article or that ebook I sent you. I also wanted to send you a copy of my latest book in PDF form. Feel free to check it out. Would love to chat with you. When you have time, here's the link to my calendar. And then I'm going to let him go for a couple of weeks. But I'm going to follow up with him basically 5 or 6 times weekly until he either books time on my calendar or tells me to go away. And it's okay that I did that because Luke introduced us. Unfortunately, right, what most people do is they get on LinkedIn and they start inviting you to connect, and they either don't even customize it, or you pretty much know the second that I accept that invitation, I'm going to get a sales pitch. I mean, if you were all to look in my network right now, how many of those introductions look like they're going to lead right to a sales pitch? Raise your hand. Raise your hand, right? Sales pitch, sales pitch, sales pitch, sales pitch. Or, once in a while, here we go, our friend Kurt said, our friend Marcus. Okay, that I'm going to reach out to him. That's that inbound lead I was just telling you about. But most of these are going to run right into sales pitches. But if you get that introduction first and you warm up the person and you take the time to engage with them, you have a much better chance of them A, accepting the invitation, B, accepting a meeting with you, and C, actually looking and seeing your stuff. So that's a little ninja trick. It's available on free LinkedIn. Go into search, sort by people and by filters. Remember, you want to sort by first and second level connections. And then if it's a second level connection, there are probably people there that can introduce you. Ask them all, or anyone that you're comfortable asking. And then go with your best yes, write the introduction for them, have them CC you, and then start that cadence. And don't worry, you don't have to memorize all this because I'm going to send you some. I'm going to give you a link so that you can get access to our ebook that talks all about this. The other really cool feature I want to show you is called Connections Of. And this is, come on. Get back in there. There we go. This is also kind of my a magic little ninja thing that people just are aware is available on LinkedIn. I get very excited about these little geeky things. So what you're going to do is go to people, and then you're going to go to all filters. And I tried this last time, Mitch, but I don't think we were connected. But this time we are. I'm going to come down here to where it says connections of. So I'm going to find that person on LinkedIn who I know is super connected, which of course we know Mitch is. There you are. Boom. So now I can see who Mitch is connected to. I can still do the same thing. So second level to me, connected through Mitch in the United States. And maybe I want to throw in like CEO here in the title. So I can do that and see my results. 29 people that I know Mitch can introduce me to. Now, be careful with this. If I literally went, ooh, all 29 of these are good leads, Mitch would get a little annoyed with me if I asked him to introduce me to all 29 of them. But I could, no, just you know, be kind to your connected friends. But as I go through here, if there's a really hot lead and I really want to meet with Justin, or I really want to meet with Ashwin, or I really want to meet with Nardo, I know I can ask Mitch to do that introduction for me. So it's really powerful. Maybe there's someone else in your company. Now, if you've got a premium account, there's even more you can do, but this is with a free account. Search people, all filters, connections of, and then choose your connection, the person that you know is active on LinkedIn and they're willing to introduce you. Now, don't do this. This is my pet peeve. Hey, Viveka, I noticed you're connected to a lot of recruiters. Would you mind introducing me? Oh, it happens all the time. I notice you're connected to people on LinkedIn. Would you mind introducing me? Like, no, only 30,000. Which person on LinkedIn do you want me introduced to? So if you're going to ask for an introduction on LinkedIn, choose the person you actually want to be introduced to. Don't do the generic, hey, I notice you're connected to a lot of realtors. Can you introduce me? Like, really? You want me to do your job for you? No, but make it as easy as possible for them. So those are my two little search ninja tricks that I wanted to share. Any questions about that? Let me see.
And Amika has a question.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Great question. I accept all invitations on LinkedIn. I also used to accept all invitations on LinkedIn. There's two reasons not to. There's three reasons not to. First of all, at some point you're going to hit the 30,000 limit. So I'm always having to delete people so I can accept new people in. So that's number one. Eventually you're gonna hit your limit. So that's number one. Number two, unless you've changed your settings, you are going to get put on a lot of newsletters that you never applied for, right? Because in settings, most first level connections get access to your email address and they just plug you in and plug you into their email list. And now you're getting a whole bunch of newsletters that you've never asked for. The third reason, and I think this is the most important one, when you share content on LinkedIn, LinkedIn's algorithm is going to open up your content according to what we call dwell time. So the more people who see your content, comment on your content, read your content, the more LinkedIn is going to open it up. So while I have 47-ish thousand followers on LinkedIn, it only shows my content to like 1/100th, maybe 400 or 500 people, until folks start engaging on it. So right now, no one's really engaging on this. It's not getting a lot of views. It's not getting a lot of likes. Same. And actually, truth be told, these are all, we have a content sharing tool that we use. So all of these were shared that way. And you can tell because it's not a lot of views, not a lot of likes, not a lot of engagement. But when I manually put content in there, right, I spend the time, and this is a whole other training, so I'm not going to go in too deeply, but I spend the time writing out my introduction to the content. I tag people in it. Then suddenly it's getting a lot of engagement. It's getting a lot of comments. It's getting a lot of views. The tighter this is all to say, I never give short answers. This is all to say the tighter your network is of people who actually know, like, and trust you and find your content valuable, the more likely they are to engage on it and the more likely it is to be seen by other people. And I'm laughing because I just said, know, like, and trust. So this article is literally about my dear friend Bob Berg, who said the quote, all things being equal, people do business with people and refer people they know, like, and trust. And I literally quote him every single time I do a podcast or a training or whatever. And I did it completely without thinking about it. And it's literally on a post about Bob. How meta is that? Anyway, the point being, the more focused and concentrated your network is, the more likely people are to engage on your content, and the more likely then LinkedIn is to open it out to a bigger audience. So then more people are going to see you. So that's going to build know, like, and trust. And it just becomes this, you know, this whirlwind of love on LinkedIn, where people are actually, real people are actually engaging with you, which was, you know, the point of my whole presentation, how to have real relationships on LinkedIn. So the short answer is I would only connect with people who you think you can help or you think they can help you. I'm constantly clearing people out of my network. Now, the only reason I have almost 30,000 connections is because I've been on LinkedIn literally since 2005. So, if you Google LinkedIn expert, like, that's my LinkedIn name, that's my Twitter name, that's my Instagram name, like, right? So, but for those of you who have 400 or 500 people, that's probably a more active or a more useful network than 30,000 is, as far as creating that visibility and in that engagement. So it's not the size of your network, it's how you use it. Yes, I went there. All right, let's talk about that know, like, and trust. Let's talk about that know, like, and trust with what we call our PBC methodology. So, you know, I already asked you, go to your profile, look at your network. Is it all spam? Is it mostly spam, right? There's unfortunately a lot of people who either don't know how to customize an invitation, or when they do, you know, it's because they're just about to plug you into their newsletter, or they're going to follow up with a spammy message, right? As soon as I accept the invitation, I'm going to come over to messaging and it's going to be spam, 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 spam. So you've got to be careful about how you then, it's the golden rule, it's Bob Berg's golden rule. You've got to be careful about how you're engaging with your audience. So the first thing I showed you was the two-step referral method. That is gold. That is going to be the most effective way that you can make connections on LinkedIn. The second is our PBC methodology, which I actually talked about, but didn't tell you that's what I was doing. So PBC simply means personalize, value, and a call to action. You can personalize to an individual, right? So, dear Cynthia, or you'd never say dear on LinkedIn, that would be weird. Hey, Cynthia, hi, Cynthia, hello, Cynthia. I noticed that you're connected to Mitch. He's awesome, isn't he? So that's personalized. Or maybe I'm sending out a post. I'm going to personalize to my buyer persona, which is sales leaders. You know, as a sales leader, are you frustrated by, right? So I am calling out either an individual in a private message or a buyer persona in a public message in a post. And then I'm going to bring in my value, which is always speaking to people's points of pain, either my individual's point of pain or my buyer persona's point of pain, or something that we have in common. So again, you know, hey, Cynthia, you know, I see that you're friends with Mitch. Isn't he awesome? You know, I noticed that you're part of the breakfast club. I recognize that we're not quite back to networking the way we used to be, which makes it frustrating being able to meet people online. Now it sounds like Match.com, but I have this great two-step referral method I think you'll find helpful. So now I've added value, right? I've mentioned Mitch, so now we have something in common that helps with the no. I've shared what might be a frustration that Cynthia has, and I've offered a solution. Now I could go right into, hey, you want to meet so I can sell you something, or I could say, you know, give it a watch, try it out, let me know how it works for you. And when Cynthia gives it a watch, tries it out, and the two-step referral actually works for her, she's going to remember me fondly. So in a week or two, when I follow up with Cynthia, she's a lot more likely to then actually go for the meeting, right? But first, I need to earn the right to ask for the meeting. And unfortunately, if we go back into LinkedIn, very few people have earned the right to ask for the meeting, and yet most of them are going to try to. So that is where the PBC methodology helps you build a real relationship before you ask for the connection, and certainly before you ask for the meeting. And this is where all salespeople go wrong on LinkedIn. They connect on LinkedIn, they either get accepted or not, and then they go right into the sales pitch. So this is our anatomy. This is what the PBC method looks like, right? So, hey, first name, that's the customization. The majority of, and this is the buyer persona, salespeople, business owners, realtors, construction people, whoever, lawyers, whoever your buyer persona is, most of the sales leaders like you have these common problems. Problem one, problem two. Attached are two documents, two pieces of media, two resources that your peers have found useful, that your peers, and that have helped your peers address these problems. The first is, and then you just share a blog article, a testimonial. Go on your website, you got the content there, right? You've got content, hopefully, that speaks to the problems that your buyers, your prospects have. The second one is this, and then you can either just ask them, and this is what I would recommend, you could just ask them to take a look and let them know, you know, if you've got any questions about that, great. Or if you have any questions about that, here's my calendar link, here's when I'm available. Please feel free to reach out, but you're not being too terribly intrusive yet. So that is what the PBC method looks like. And don't worry, you don't have to screenshot this and you don't have to memorize it, because now I'm going to show you, well, first of all, I'm going to share a link with you, which I very smartly opened ahead of time. So I can copy that and just pop it into chat. Here we go. Oops, and I was just going to send that to Alice, but I'll send it to everybody. There we go. So first of all, you can click on that. That's going to take you to this link. This is our whole PBC methodology right here. You don't even have to give me your email address or your phone number or your name. It's all right there. And we really, really deep dive into what PBC, personalized value, call to action, does. And we've even got scripts in here for you. Right? So everything is in there already. So make sure to click on that link and save it for later. Thank you. You're welcome. My pleasure. So that is one thing I'm going to give you. The other thing I'm going to give you, however, is a really, really cool piece of flyware. It's a really cool piece of flyware. We put fly in front of everything. A really cool piece of software. It's actually a Chrome extension. So we're working on it for all the other, you know, for Edge and for Safari and as an app. But right now it's just a Chrome extension. And what Fly is auto text expander. So has anyone used auto text expanders? Where you type in a couple letters and then it populates like BRB, right? Be right back. Or you put in like Cal and your calendar pops up. Has anyone used? Yeah, okay, so a couple of you have. And what do you remember? Was it literally the auto text expander Fly? Do you remember what auto text expander you used? Just pop it into chat. So stop using that, start using ours. Number one, ours is free, at least for right now. The cool thing about our auto text expander, which I'm going to show you, is it's got categories. A lot of them don't have categories. So you've got 450 short codes and you have to, you gotta like scroll through all of them to find the right one. So ours have categories and that's included for free. The other really cool thing about our fly message is it does rich text, hyperlinks, bold, italics, images, right? So for me, one of the shortcuts I use is my bio, which has my bio, my picture, everything, because people are always asking for my bio. So I literally just type in Viv bio, V-I-V-B-I-O, and there's my whole bio. I don't have to be go looking into a Word document or where did I put it in notes. It's all right there. And all I have to type is Viv bio, and there it is. But the third, and I think the most important thing that our software has in it, our Chrome extension, is what we call fly plates. See what I mean about putting fly in front of everything? We have templates built right in. We have a template built in, and most of our templates also have PVC worked into it. If someone has viewed your profile, you literally go into LinkedIn, type -VMP2, and it's going to say, hey, thanks for viewing my profile. After viewing yours, I'd be honored to have you as a connection so I can learn from you and network with you. We also have some common connections. Are you open to connecting? Looking forward to learning from you. Alice, right? So you still have to type in this and this. We're working on the software. You still have to type in their name and your name, but you don't have to type everything else in. You don't have to be looking all over the place. You literally just go to LinkedIn and put -VMP2. Like I'll show you. So here we go. So I'm going to go to LinkedIn. Here, I'm going to go to my homepage. I'm going to look at who's viewed my profile. Okay, look at you. There we go. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to use you as my example. I'm going to connect. I'm going to add a note. Dash. I got to remember. This is not one I actually use a lot. VMP2. Okay, so you just have to remember them. Okay, so -VMP2, there we go, boom, it populated. Hey, Alice, no, not alive, but you are very alive. Maybe that's why I wrote that. And then I got to put my name in here. And it's done. It's done. It saved me like 5 minutes. It's done, right? So we've got our templates built right into the program, including the one I just showed you, which is in here somewhere. We've got a lot of different ones. So let me go back and, oh, that's why, because I'm in my own right now. Let's go to fly plates again, view all, there we go. So we've got them all. Here's the one I just showed you. The hey prospect's name. A lot of buyer personas like you have these problems. Here are 2 items. All you're going to do is come down and click reset in my fly cuts. I'm not going to do it because I've already done it. Or add it to my fly cuts, my own personalized ones, right? I'm just going to add to fly cuts. It's going to come down. So this is a template, i.e. a fly plate. Then it's going to go to my fly cuts, i.e. my shortcuts. And now I can customize it. So remember I said categories? Here's all my LinkedIn replies. If you invite me to connect today, you're going to get VFly client. So you're going to get a video of me saying, you know, thanks for watching the video. Would love to connect. Well, here, I'm just, instead of telling you what it is, I'll just show you. You're going to get this content. I literally am just, when I see your invitation, I'm just going to type in VFly client and this is going to populate. So you can either use our templates or create your own. And then you never have to type all that out again. Never, ever, ever again. You just have to remember what your short code was. And by the way, the functionality is coming so you can print out all your short codes. In the meantime, you can just write them down if you want. But you can separate them. Here's my bios, right? I've got a long bio, a short bio, then Gresso bio with pictures. I never have to search for this again. All I have to do is type VivPic bio and my entire bio populates, including hyperlinks, pictures, etc. It's all right in there. So this is going to save you an enormous amount of time. So let me pop it into chat for you. Fly message, you just literally go to You can either go to flymsg.io. That's actually just going to take you to where you download the Chrome extension. You go right here, boom. If you're on Chrome, I would go ahead and ignore. I would go ahead and add it right now. You'll see it's right here. This is my little Fly Message Chrome extension. And from here, I just go right into my fly cuts. You're going to have to sign up. This one you do have to give us your email address. It doesn't have to be a Gmail address. Just sign up with your name and your email address, and it becomes a Chrome extension. And then what we normally recommend is this little thing right here. You just pin it to the top so you can always find it. But you start adding things in there. Okay, does anyone else have a team and your team member goes, join me on Zoom, but they forget to give you their Zoom address? So then you're trying to join them on Zoom and you can't find their Zoom address, and you're like, oh my God, Mario, what's your Zoom address? I don't know. Now you can just create fly cuts for everybody's Zoom rooms. And then if you forget their Zoom room, you just put ZR Stan, ZR Priya, ZR Wendy, ZR Mario, and there's their Zoom room. And now I never have to look for the Zoom room again. Yay! Exactly right. Bios. You know, if you're a leader in your company and you're getting interviewed a lot, oh, we need your bio. But we need a long bio because it's going in a newspaper. We need a short bio because it's going in a blog post. Actually, that would be reversed, wouldn't it? You know, we need the bio of your company, right? Done. I don't have to go back to my website, see if I can find it, copy and paste it into a Word document, do a spell check. Never have to do that again. It's all in here. Does anyone forget their address? Right? Our company address is somewhere in Walnut Creek, California. I've been there once. I have no idea where our corporate office is. I can never remember. Or our 1-800 number. I have no idea what our 1-800 number. I don't have to. It's in here, right? Or you use a calendar. How many of you use a calendar tool like Calendly, Appointly? There's so many of them out there. My calendar, all I have to do is type in Cal 30 or Cal 60. There we go. My calendar, looking forward to connecting. Pick an hour that works with your calendar. Boom, there it is. Don't have to worry about it ever again. Don't have to memorize it. Links that I'm sharing all the time, like the sales methodology link, right? Our PVC methodology, all my socials, our gold program. It's all in here. I just have to remember my short code, which even if I can't remember it, it's going to take less time to go into Fly Message. And then I can see it. And like I said, you can use this on LinkedIn. You can use this on Facebook. You can use this on Twitter. You can use this in an email. You can use this anywhere online. Anywhere online. So that is Fly Message. Make sure you download it. Don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your friends. Those of you, the 3 of you who are already using auto text expanders, try ours out, see what you think about it. We are getting, like I said, we are going to be getting an app for that. We are getting extensions for all the other browsers, but you know, it's only a year old. So, and hey, if you want to invest in us, we are also doing seed rounds starting next month. So there we go. All right. Are there any questions about anything that I have shared so far? Any questions about anything I've shared so far? I've got like 5-10 more minutes.
Me.
Yes, go for it.
No, I actually wanted to read. There's a couple of messages that were in the chat box that we.
Oh, good. Okay, cool.
One of them says, "I've had romantic overtures on LinkedIn. I think they're scams. Any suggestions on how to limit that?"
Yeah. Oh my God. Great. Yeah. Like literally the prince. I've had the prince. You know. Yeah. So report and block. Let me show you how to do that. So if you have someone who invites you to connect or you're already connected, oops, poor Rachel. I'm not going to do that to Rachel. Let's just find someone here. There's always someone, right? Let me see here. I did clean this out the other day. I don't know. I know Belen, so I'll come back and I'll accept her later. But let's just say Belen was like being very inappropriate with me. You can always go to their profile, whether you're connected with them or not. Here in the More section, you can report and block. And yes, if you get the romantic overture, it's probably because you're such a wonderful person and they are in love with you, but just in case they're not, yeah, it might be catfish scheme. For sure, just go to their profile and then report and block. I've had to do that a few times myself. Great. I rarely get that question, but that is an excellent question. So thank you.
One more.
Yeah.
Do you have time to share how, if we were speaking at a conference, how we can reach out to people with your app afterwards?
Yeah, great question. So of course, as we've mentioned, you've got your app. The app actually has, I don't know if I'm gonna, let's see if my computer is gonna let me do this. The app actually has a QR code inside it. Let me see if I can get this to work. I'm not entirely sure I will, but the iPhone, nope, via AirPlay. Let me just see if I can get this. Let me try it one more time. Oh, it might work. Yeah, all right, cool. Do you all see my phone?
No.
Oh, really? No, it's saying that you do.
You stopped sharing your screen.
Sharing.
Yeah, but then I shared it. Okay. And then okay, it's saying that you can see my screen, but you can't see my phone. Still no? It's saying you can. It's lying. All right, let me try it one more time. Oh yeah, now it's saying I need to install something. Okay, never mind. So if you go to, now I gotta remember where it is, mind you. If you go to your phone, there's actually a QR code. It's been so long since I did, it's been so long since I've been at a conference. I've got to remember where it is. Oh God, it used to be in messaging and then the 3 dots, but no, it's not there anymore. I tell you what, because I know we're running up on time and I can't actually remember where it is. There's a QR code that you can use, which, let me stop sharing. I'm not really sharing, but yeah, I'll stop share. There we go. There's a QR code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out where it is exactly now. Oh, you found it? Oh, Anamika, where was it? Unmute yourself.
Yeah, so you just go into the search bar, and then at the search bar on the right-hand side, there's a little QR code square, and then it.
Perfect.
Like that.
I put a link in the chat box to it.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's been so, I used to teach it and I'm like, I can't even remember where it is anymore. So that's probably the best thing. And yes, thank you for that question, because of course, when you're at a conference, the best time to invite someone to connect is when you're standing in front of them. And you'll literally go, oh my God, we should be connected on LinkedIn. So you can either share your QR code, which makes it super easy, or just find them on LinkedIn and send them the invitation. The ninja trick for sending an invitation from your phone is when you go to your phone and you go to their profile and you go to connect. Let's see, who am I not connected with yet? Anamika, let me find you. You've got you're like me, you've got a kind of a different name, so you're easier to find. Oops, except for M-O-D-A-W-A-L. Okay, got it. A-W-A-L, there you are. So when I go to her profile, oh, and you've got follow, so that's good. You've got that set up. I'm going to go to the 3 dots, and then it's going to allow me to that's the problem with blurring. It's going, you can't see it. It's going to allow me, if I go to the 3 dots, it'll say either connect or follow message, and then there's 3 dots on the right. If I click on that, I can personalize my invitation. So you definitely want to do that when you're at a conference. Just invite them right when you're standing with them, and yeah, go right from there. Good question. Any other questions?
Two quick ones, and I think we'll have to
Okay.
wrap it up after this.
Yeah.
First of all, someone wrote thoughts on using LinkedIn Live.
Oh yeah, if you can get it, use it. Now, that being said, if you can get it, use it, and know it's a huge time suck. So you're probably going to want someone to help you with it. Someone in your company maybe who can help moderate it, because it's really hard to manage it on your own. You're gonna, at this time, need a third-party app. LinkedIn is in beta mode doing LinkedIn Live without third-party apps. We use StreamYard. There's lots of branding and cool things you do. You are going to want to do, be consistent, right? So you're gonna, like our show is every Thursday at noon. So you're gonna wanna be consistent about your shows. And you are not going to get as much visibility, but the nice thing is you're getting content, and that content can be repurposed and repurposed and repurposed. So our LinkedIn Live, we might have, 50 to 100, well, no, that I wish. We might have 5 to 10 people show up live. We'll end up having about 50 to 100 people watch it later. But we can download the audio and make it a podcast. We can take out snippets and turn them into blog posts. So that's really where the power is. And we've definitely, even if you only have 2 or 3 people watching, but they ask you a buying question and you are able to start a conversation with them, we've been able to convert the 1 or 2 people watching on any given week, right, into clients. So I'm a fan of LinkedIn Live. It is not as, the visibility is not as good as it used to be, but I still think it's worth it. But it takes some work. So you have to decide if it's worth it.
Nice. One final question, and there's kind of 2 parts to it. So when you block someone, does that person get a notification? And 2, when you get an invitation and you click ignore, does that person get a notification?
No. There were third-party apps for a while, but then LinkedIn kind of put the kibosh on third-party apps that would tell you so. They're not going to know. The only way they're not going to know is if they go look for you. They're not going to be able to see your profile anymore. But LinkedIn's not going to say like this person blocked you or reported you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine. All right. So as we wrap up, what I would say is, right, at Ebbinghouse's forgetting curve, if you don't take action, you're going to have just wasted the past 45 minutes. So you're going to definitely want to, or hours, the case may be. You want to take action, whether it's downloading Flight Message, whether it's trying that 2-step referral method, whether it's doing one of those searches. If you take action within, the next 20 minutes, you're going to retain 58% of what I shared with you. If you take action a month from now, you're going to forget most of what I taught you. So the more action you can take as soon as we get off this call, the more likely you didn't just waste the whole hour of what we did together. And I don't want to waste your time. So thank you for your time. Please feel free to reach out for me. I see a bunch of you already did, which is awesome. I'll show you Fly Message at work. You're going to get one of my auto-populated messages, which will have more information probably about Fly Message. Oh, and I think I threw my book. No, I didn't yet. Let me pop my book into chat for everyone as well. There we go. That's my book. You get it for free. It's PDF. I'm not going to mail you a copy, but you can get a PDF of my latest book too. That will give you a whole lot of more information that you need about LinkedIn. So there we go. Any other questions, or are we good to go?
Thank you so much, Vivica. This was amazing. Really great content. I think it's super useful. I'm definitely going to take your last tip and take some action right away, because I agree with you that if you don't take action immediately, we forget. And like you said, we don't want to waste anyone's time. So thank you for that reminder.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I definitely don't want to waste your time. Thank you, Carmen.
No, thank you so much. And I want to just thank everyone for joining us this morning. I know that, you know, there's so many things that you can join, and so we really appreciate you being with us today. I would love to also just quickly say hello to the chair of the Los Angeles City Club, and Mr. Brent Stokes has joined us this morning too, so I definitely wanted to acknowledge him. Brent, if you have a minute and you're able to come off mute, please, you know, I'd love for you to just say hello to us.
Hello, Carmen, and hello, everyone. Good morning, Viveka. Thank you for your presentation. Love the turnout here. Gives you an idea of how serious the City Club members are about improving their LinkedIn effectiveness. This is great information, and I think we should repeat this offering in the not too distant future, because with the over 1,100 members of the club, I'm sure more than just these 16 could tremendously benefit. So just some food for thought there, Carmen. Hope everyone has a great and successful rest of the day. Thank you for the opportunity, Carmen.
Thank you, and thank you, Viveka. I know you have to go.
I'm happy to come back.
We'd love that.
Thank you,
We'd love to have
Viveka.
you.